my friends. Matt Leja here with Maple Grove Productions. Just sitting out front here with my friend Mr. Lion. This is my other friend Mr. Lion. One of them's got black eyes, the other one has white eyes. Why I'm telling you this, I don't know. Gotta start the video off somehow. So as you can see, it is now almost officially September, almost into fall, year number 1. So we've got another 3 weeks of summer left and we're trying to take advantage of it, but let's go through the garden. So I got myself a new camera, new phone actually, so hopefully the video is coming through a little bit clearer than it normally is. So let's first take a look at the old tomato patch here. We had a crazy windstorm come through. It blew really hard, really fast, and as you can see, our tomatoes took a bit of a hit here. There was actually a tornado warning. Really strange. It went from being sunny, not unlike today, to really cloudy, really dark, really fast, and lots of thunder and lightning. Didn't get hit by any tornadoes, but it was kind of freaky. We all huddled up in the basement for a good half an hour until it passed. The tomatoes in particular took a bit of a hit during that storm, so some of the branches are cracked here, but overall doing well. Still producing like crazy. This one here had some blight, so we had to pull that one out so that it wouldn't spread. Some of these also are showing signs of deficiencies. I don't think this one is. They're taking a while to turn red, but I guess that's normal for this variety. It's taking its time and we're just letting it do its thing. So, but this, I think here, if I'm not mistaken, is a sign of a certain type of deficiency when they get brown and black on the bottoms like that. Not sure what it's lacking, if it's calcium or what. Again, I'm still very new at this, still learning, very much so. You can see a bumblebee actually on the cucumber flower. Look at the lettuce here. Bumblebees love this lettuce flower as well, it looks like. You can see the little pollen sacs on them. It's a good opportunity to get in close and hello, friend. So yeah, pretty happy with the garden overall. The other lettuce here has started to bolt. It's gone to flower, so we're just letting it go. We did actually get some lettuce out of the garden finally, so no complaints there. After Ange reworked the bed, it really came back, and was not expecting these beautiful purple flowers off of this lettuce. I thought it would just bolt, maybe do some type of flower, but not like this. So now we know eventually this may start to seed as well, so we're going to make sure to keep some seeds from that for next year. But we weren't able to eat any of that. It went bitter really fast, so I'm not sure what happened there. The cucumbers in this section are really attracting pollinators, which is great, but we haven't gotten any cucumbers out of this section. Let me take another look. I think at one point there were some growing, but whether they're fully developed at this point, I don't think so. Could be wrong, but I don't see any. And this was the case the last few times that I came to check this cucumber patch. I did not see a single cucumber. So if it's here strictly for the pollinators, that's fine. That's worth it in and of itself. But yeah, I don't see any cucumbers. I don't even see the little mini cucumbers. So, hey, there's a dragonfly. We don't have nearly enough of those in our garden, so I'm happy to see those as well. So, I mean, if this cucumber patch wants to do nothing but attract pollinators, that is fine by my book. I mean, it's doing its job. So those cucumbers really need their own space. They're just choking out everything around them. They really do need their own space. So here's one of the beds that got reworked here. It's coming back, actually. A lot of this stuff is doing fairly well. Celery's still stunted. Carrots still stunted. We might get a couple small ones out of it, but last time we checked there was nothing growing down there. Radishes, same thing. Onions doing okay. So can't complain. It wasn't a total loss on this bed. Same thing over there. Radishes, celery doing okay. That one, carrot's doing well, but not expecting much out of that. Definitely gonna do rows next time. There's an onion there that's barely hanging on. Our brassicas, we had to just take them out because they weren't doing anything. They weren't even flowering properly, so there was no point of having them there. But this is one of the spots that we're trying to rework, since we have a small window left to do some root vegetables, maybe even some more lettuce, not sure yet. The Jerusalem artichoke apparently can be used as a mulching plant, which I didn't know, but it makes sense since it grows so fast, and it's I was gonna say it's sturdy, but this one here grew on kind of an angle, so it's a little unstable. But because it does grow so quickly and so tall, propagates under the ground with its roots so fast, that you could, I guess, use that as a mulching plant, and some people do. So I'll have to keep that in mind if I want to ever chop and drop, I guess, at the end of the season. Or here you see the peppers really struggling. Nothing's changed here. We did pull one small red pepper out of it. It was delicious, but that's all we got. The peppers in the back are actually doing a lot better, which I'll show you here in a sec. So our other tomato bush here, which is really doing well, we've actually got some that are starting to ripen up. We've pulled a few out of here. They're a little hard, but they're good, so no complaints there. We're actually getting some tomatoes now and cucumbers. Here I experimented with a little basil. Tomatoes and basil go so well together, not just in food, but they grow well together as well. And I took a cutting from that basil plant over there with some roots on it and just planted it here just to see, and it took. It's not growing very fast. It's sort of stunted, which is the theme of these beds, but it did take. And here's another one down here which has gone to flower. Might even be ready for seed collection at some point. But yeah, the tomatoes, oh, there's one. Didn't see that one yesterday. There's one that's ripening up there. These are in good shape for the most part. These are the Italian tomatoes. We've got these little guys here that grow in little bunches. Got some more in there that are not even close to being done. You could make fried green tomatoes, I suppose. Here's another example of a possible nutritional deficiency when you see holes like that and the scabs like that. I'm pretty sure that's a nutritional deficiency, but not 100% on that. But I don't see any other red ones. We've been keeping up with it to grab those before the animals do. Of course, we always leave some behind, but there's plenty to go around for people and animals. So the horseradish, I don't know if we're gonna get any this year. It's a root, so it's all underground, so took a little bit of damage here too from that windstorm, but you know, the state of the leaves is not indicative of how the root will do necessarily, so we may get something out of this. The Jerusalem artichoke, being that it's an artichoke, it is the root as well that you want from that. Apparently it gives you bad gas if you eat it, or you have to cook it a certain way so that it doesn't, or so, I don't know. I don't know if we'll eat this one. We might just let it go. Look at the stalk on this thing though. It's very solid. It's almost like bamboo. Super strong. It just kind of grew funny trying to get past the branches and the leaves from this tree, trying to get to the light, and it grew kind of on a weird angle, so we had to give it some support there. But normally those are strong enough to do fine on their own. Here is a section that really made a comeback, really exploded, except for here. Very, very strange. I don't know why. I'm gonna compost the crap out of everything next year, so this is hopefully gonna be the last time that we experience this type of stunting and general confusion. There's some bees as well. They just love the cucumbers, so definitely more cucumbers going in next year. But here is where we have, there's one there, there's one there, there's a little one there. Got a few more back there. I'm not sure if you can see those, just little guys. Pumpkins starting up. Pumpkin flowers opening up and doing super well. Very happy with the pumpkins, and they're growing out towards this side, which is exactly what we wanted them to do. There's one there that's starting to grow. Very happy with that. There are a few cucumbers. There's one in particular around here somewhere that's ready for picking. I think it's this one. Is it this one? No, that's yet another one. So as you can see, this section is just doing really well for cucumbers, and the pumpkins too. They seem to be competing a little bit, these two plants, so I don't know that I would plant them next to each other like this next time, but definitely whatever we did differently with these plants worked, and I'm gonna do the same thing next year. I'm gonna grab this guy here because it's hard to pull off, but it's weighing down that top branch. So everybody else I talked to who's got gardens has just an explosion of cucumbers this year. I don't know if it's the rain or just they favored the cucumbers and what they planted. I'm not sure. There's another one there. There was a big one around here somewhere though. I want to make sure we grab it. There it is. That's the one. There's actually two of them growing next to each other. So I'm going to grab this big one and I'll leave the other one. Oh, there's another one. I didn't even see that one. So I'm going to grab this one. I'll leave the other two get a little fatter. But I love the simplicity of cucumber growing. It's just set it up, leave it alone, make sure it has everything that it needs, and then you just walk away. And that's the way I like to do my gardening. As little maintenance and work as possible, but yet huge yield. That's what you want. And actually, you know what? I lied. These are brand new. These are brand new cucumbers. These were tiny just a few days ago. And look at this. This is the one that I wanted to pick, which I will do now before it gets any bigger. I mean, I could just let it go if I wanted to, but I'm gonna pick this guy here. We'll have some cucumber sandwiches. Oh yeah, that's the one. I let it go an extra few days to let it grow, and I'm glad I did. Paid off. Come on, focus. So that is the front garden, my friends. The herbs really haven't changed all that much. Parsley doing well, lavender doing well, basil doing well. Let's move our way over to the back garden and take a look back there. Alright, so here we are, different day, different filming opportunity. So I'll just pick up from where I left off. But before we move over to the backyard, I wanted to show you something that we've put in place here that I've been talking about doing for a little while now, and finally did it with the help of the family. So before, as you'll recall, we were on these 3 barrels here, these plastic barrels for our compost. We never actually made it to the 3rd one because we were still building that up, and it got rained in and stuff, so we had to dump it. But in the process of taking care of that, I said, why don't we finally finish this thing? So I'll take the cover off, give you a quick look at it. Okay, so there's the first layer off of it. We actually probably don't need this second layer here, but you can see some of it is not covered up like it should be. We didn't really have any dry material to use other than cardboard, so we're using that for now, but I need to get this water out of here and cover it a different way. But in order to do that, I gotta cut these guys down to size so that the cover goes over easier and stays in place. But yeah, this would be the first stage here, where we're mainly putting our scraps in and then covering it up. Then once we've turned it, we put it in the second one over here. And once that's sat for some time, we'll go ahead and put our finished compost in the 3rd one. So that's kind of where we're at with this. Again, a lot of water here for my liking, and I definitely need to cut those last few posts down to size. I left a little bit of room here for some expansion if ever we want to make it higher, but for now it's about 3 levels high, so it should be enough. It was more than enough for what we had here to work with. So that's our compost system. Now let's take it to the backyard. One thing I wanted to mention here as well is that I'm taking note of everything that happens in our garden and on our property, and it's being documented here in these, not only in these episodes, but on my raw video. You know, it's important to know that this did well, that didn't do so well. We got a lot of yield out of the cucumbers, where not so much out of the basil. Just for example, the basil's actually doing very well. But the important part is to just note this so that we can use it next year. Plant more of the stuff that worked and less of the stuff that didn't work. There's a dog. There's Leah. Hey Leah. Good girl. Another thing I keep saying as well is keep learning. Always learning more and more. I learned recently that these hostas make great chop and drop for mulch, so, and it makes sense. They grow like crazy. They even make these sticks that are left over after. Some nice flowers too. So always keep learning, always keep pushing the boundaries of your own personal education, and I think that's what helps you get there in the end. So here you can see the raspberry is actually making a small comeback. Every time I pass by here, I try and look underneath for any of those worms and squish them or knock them off of there. This is not going to produce anything this year, but it's nice to know that it's making a decent comeback since it got ravaged so bad. Look at this one. Nothing left. This one's just barely hanging on for the season, but like I mentioned before, as long as the roots are good, it should be alright. Nothing new here with the peanut. No idea when would be time to start harvesting. We could have already been harvesting this maybe, I'm not sure. Get a few peanuts out of the deal. Orange tree really made a nice comeback. It's all green now, so many leaves. It's nice to see it like that, the way that it's supposed to look, or close to it anyway. Got some more hostas over there, a couple things, potatoes. Now would be a good time to put some potatoes in the ground actually. But we're sticking to mostly just observation. Blueberries did okay, most of them did alright. We got one over there, one of the honeyberries, not sure if it's the male or female, but one of them has some mildew on the leaves. Serviceberry not doing too good. It doesn't seem to like the acidic soil as much as the blueberries do. Blueberries changing color, this patch here turning a nice red color. I think that's the peaches and cream, or no, that was that one. Not sure what that one was. Pink lemonade probably would make sense. This is another type of blueberry. Sorry, I don't know the type of this one, but that one is the peaches and cream, which actually gave us fruit this year. See some of this mildew here, which is not the greatest thing, but hopefully it doesn't spread or kill the plant. So this is where we're thinking again of setting up the swale system, water flow system going this way, getting caught in the soil, running off here, maybe spilling over into a small pond, eventually possibly a dam somewhere. It's all going to be on a very small scale though, unless we end up going into woods, but I like keeping my backwoods wild. That is my zone 5 back there, and I like to keep it at zone 5. Not to encroach on it too much. That's, for me, where a lot of the quality lies, is back there in the wilderness. It's amazing the things you'll find. Berries are doing very well. Strawberries still producing, still giving us lots of strawberries. Yes, yes. Yes, we hear you. We hear you. You can see a nice fat couple right there. The crown cherries, my goodness, they never cease to amaze me. Look at the freaking reach on these guys. They're just fanning out like crazy. And look at all the berries. I mean, it's unbelievable when you start getting in there. Look at all that. From this distance, they almost look like grapes. Like there's so many of them. Good grapevine. But this has just been producing like crazy. We can come out here even now when it's not fully matured, or the berries are not ripened yet. We can still come out here and get 4 or 5 of them every time we come out that have fallen to the ground, or just about to, like that one or that one there that's fallen. So, and I just love those things. They're so good, so sweet. And parsley is doing okay. It took hold. It got some yellowing on some of the leaves, but overall it's doing fine. Chili peppers doing good. Another batch coming in. Another round of those chili peppers, and they're hot. I didn't think they were at first until I really bit my teeth into one of them. This pepper is finally producing. It's actually producing quite a bit. Quite a bit. Finally getting some peppers coming in here. I don't know if this is habanero. Where'd the ticket go? Still not good at identifying though. There was a little one that had grown and fell off, so I'm just leaving it there. But that looks like some type of habanero to me. Hot pepper. Make some good sauce with that. Here's another pepper that's barely hanging on, but well, I say that, but it's starting to grow some fruit that looks like they got chewed maybe? I'm not sure. but this thing has been struggling all along, as has that thing. This is actually making some tiny little fruit here. That's funny. Lavender doing so well. So good. Rosemary too. That rosemary did well right from the start. So these are all wins. These are all things that we'd plant again next year for sure. Peppers definitely need to work on those, but they're going to end up in the greenhouse, I think, along with the brassicas. But ground cherries is going to probably stay there, if not take over even more. Nice bumblebee going through our strawberries there, loving it. And yeah, my little experiment here with the Queen Anne's lace, or what I think that is, going well. It's almost trying to encroach now on the... One thing I noticed as well, and I'll discuss very briefly as we make our way to the mint, is competition. I noticed that when you put certain plants together that they will compete for space, and it's almost like a race. Which one's going to make it? And it's actually stimulated my echinacea out front to grow, which I can show you here. I stopped by it, but I don't think you got a shot of it. But it stimulated it to grow and start to come back. So it's not a total loss on the red or the pink echinacea. So that was a nice surprise. Chocolate mint hanging on. Not exceptional, but you know, doing good. Doing good. I had it on a stake by mistake. No pun intended. But it's doing much better, I think, now that I've put it down closer to the ground, and it can serve as an actual ground cover like it's supposed to. And the mint here is ready to be, some of it anyway, can be hung up now and dried. Looks like I'm disturbing a bird's nest here. And the other type of mint looks like it got eaten actually since the last time I've been out here. It's wet a little bit, got eaten. Somebody's enjoying it. It wasn't us. But this mint here flowering. Yeah, it's ready to start drying out and making yummy tea with it or something. So I'm taking you on the grand tour one more time, guys, because I think this is going to be the last one for the season. September now, and summer's quickly drawing to an end. Here's my wild. I don't really give this one much attention, but this is the wild side. This is the north side of our house that just kind of does what it wants, and I kind of like it. My dad likes it too, and I think Ange enjoys it. We all like this section. You could call it overrun with weeds, or you could call it an experiment, or just nature doing its thing. So some of the weeds have mixed in with the hostas and the different plants here and the cedars, but it made a nice bouquet, if you will, of different plant varieties, and the bugs are loving it. It's attracting a lot of pollinators for us. So even these, I think they're called black-eyed Susans, the yellow plant here has been attracting a fair bit of pollinators as well. We've got the bleeding hearts in the back. It's trying to take hold again. I just noticed we have wood sorrel everywhere. I could go and harvest that if I wanted to and eat it. Tastes delicious. There's probably some other stuff down here. Almost looks like thyme. But some of these are probably not friendly. Some of them are kind of neutral. Others are indicating soil type or soil quality. But yeah, I'm learning also to look at nature for guidance and tips. And you know, possibilities of recreating that natural environment in our front and backyard. That is the goal, right? So here we see the echinacea that I was talking about, and here's its competitor. So it'd be interesting to experiment and note if having a competitor plant next to it, like this stuff here, which I don't even know what it is. We tried to get rid of it and it came back, so it was like, okay, maybe you have fought hard enough to be here. And it's completely come back where we had taken it out. So it wants to be here. I think we're going to let it be here, but it's interesting how it's making my echinacea grow a new stem where I thought it was gone. I thought it was a goner because of how dry these parts are. And I also spread some seeds down there, so it may very well be the seeds. It could be the flower head that I planted also. But that looks to me like, I don't know, something's going on between these two plants interaction. Back here, I don't know what this is. That's not good. Looks like it might be, if it's not DE, then it's probably some kind of mildew. I don't know. Another flower coming out there. That one too fought to come back, so we're gonna have to leave it. Wood sorrel mix in. This, I'm not sure what that is, but it wants to be here too. It's kind of prickly. That looks like what I might call a weed, but maybe there's some use in those too. Who knows? But yeah, just wanted to show you that it's pretty interesting. Even the white ones, it's dried off now, but I see this one I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave those flower heads and those seeds to do their own thing, whereas this one I purposely ripped them off and spread the seeds, so it'll be interesting to note the difference. But this one is definitely a hardier plant, I can already tell. It's got that survival instinct and it's making leaves like crazy. So, but echinacea, that would be awesome if we could get some of that going in bulk on the farm. So that'll just about do it for today, my friends. Thanks again for joining me. I hope your season went really well. We had an awesome season here. Made a lot of mistakes, but learned from every single one of them. It was a win. I'm always learning. I want to continue learning about this stuff and get good at it so that after a few years we really have something solid here to work with and keep us sustained with delicious food, healthy food for years to come, generations even. So that's the idea here. And again, I hope your season went well. Join me again next time where we'll do something a little bit different here. I want to do more documenting rather than these update videos. I noticed a lot of folks are doing update videos and tour videos, and I want to sort of get away from that. Do one once in a while just to bring you up to speed, but I want to get back to documenting things, really focusing on specific topics whenever we go in for whatever next season or series that we're going to do on this channel. But thanks again for joining me. Take care, be well, happy gardening, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Hello there, my friends. Matt Leja here with Maple Grove. Hello there, my friends. Matt Leja here with Maple Grove. I did it again. Get out of here, you pesky white butterfly, you. Apparently that's the one that makes the cabbage worms, so I'm trying to shoo it out of here all the time.